live in the area. I think it's November 11th. I'm going to be doing an intro to nature photography workshop here at the park.
We don't live in the area, or that would be fun, really fun to go to.
We are headed to Caddo Lake State Park this morning. We left the Longhorn RV Resort. We got out of there pretty easy this morning, and it's probably going to be about 6 hours on the road today. We've made our first stop here at a Buc-ee's. Well, the plan for the day was to make it from the Longhorn RV Resort up to Caddo Lake State Park in East Texas. And, you know, pulling this trailer really for the first time out on the open road, I had read up on what to do, how to do it, and of course you're supposed to plan your stops because you can't just pull in anywhere with these things. And so I decided today to use the Buc-ee's network of truck stops, travel stops. They have a lot of room in the parking lot. They have nice facilities inside, so they're just easy to get in and out of. And there was one in Temple that we were going to stop at, and then one in Terrell, Texas. And so that's what we did. We worked our way from Buc-ee's number 1 to Buc-ee's number 2. This was going to be a good 6+ hour drive today, which is longer than I would really want to go, but we were anxious to get back to the new house. Buc-ee stop number 2 in Terrell, so we are on schedule. The weather cleared up just like it was supposed to. Good test for the camper today. It was pretty windy and didn't get a lot of sway or swag. Overall, I would say that pulling the camper was relatively easy. Pulling it's the easy part. Backing it into the spots is mostly what's the hard part about it. But just trailering it down the interstate, which in this case, we took interstate roads. Once again, we were trying to get back to North Carolina quicker rather than take the back roads. So I think when we're doing this normally, if we're just out RVing, we'll be taking more back roads and less interstate. But today, the trailer was doing just fine. I kind of really didn't even know it was back there.
Turn left onto Park Road 2, and the destination is on your right.
Made it to Caddo Lake. Took us way longer than we thought because I didn't factor in going 65 because of pulling the trailer. I wasn't averaging the speed limit, and so it took us a little while to get here, but it is really pretty nice. We saw a glimpse of the lake, but wanted to get to our site because the sun was setting. So this is our campsite. Yeah, East Texas Piney Woods for sure.
Pour the mixture. You only want it to come up to about 2/3 because it's going to pop. And then you would bake this at 375. And you can alter all sorts of other things.
That next morning, we had to get up first thing and go over to park headquarters and get officially checked in. By the time we had arrived at the park the day before, the headquarters was closed, and they had left a note on a bulletin board telling us which spot to get in, and so that worked out well. And once we had that taken care of, we got back and got the dogs hitched up, and we took out for a hike. We knew we wanted to head up to this one area where we saw they had a pier that went out into the water, and we wanted to find that pier and check it out. And then, of course, one thing, looking at this lake, it would be so nice to check this lake out if you had a boat. That would be one way to really explore this state park, would be by boat. So this is Caddo Lake. We are coming out on a boardwalk. Allie's tugging on my arm here. Coming out on this boardwalk, getting this beautiful view. Well, when you see Caddo Lake, you obviously think, well, why does this lake look like this? Why does it look like a swamp, sort of? And there's a couple of different theories as to what caused this to happen. And both of them date back to the early 1800s. One of them, there was an earthquake in the area, and that's what some of the legend says. And then another, the more prevalent theory, is there was a log jam. They used to use the rivers to move logs up and down the river for construction on giant rafts. And a giant raft got stuck in the Red River near here and caused all this significant flooding. And by the time they finally cleared it, you know, it had significantly and altered the way the area looked forevermore. So that's the leading theory on why it looks like a swamp here. So we are down at Caddo Lake by the boat ramp, boat launch area, which is over here. Allie, for some reason, I think it's the cool weather and all the smells, she's freaking out playing with Charlie in the dirt here. No, this place is pretty unique. It's pretty different. I know. To know, this is up in East Texas, deep East Texas, and apparently the weather was cooperating with us this day. It was nice and pleasant, a beautiful sunny day, and so we enjoyed our hike that morning and headed back to the trailer to get ready to go to lunch in town, our big outing for the day. We were going to head into Marshall and see if we could find us something to eat, and ended up at a place called Juicy's Hamburgers, and they were in fact very juicy. They were very good. Kelly and I both would give Juicy's a resounding 2 thumbs up if you're ever in Marshall, Texas, looking for a lunchtime place to get a hamburger. You might check it out. We got back to the park and it was time for another hike. Got the dogs leashed up and we took out to one of the trails. It was good to get out there and kind of work off some of that lunch we had just eaten. So we took us a nice hike on the nature trail. Then it was time to head back to the trailer, and really we had to start getting ready to think about leaving the next day. We were going to be heading out. So I can't believe we're getting out of here already tomorrow. Seems like we just got here. But we are heading to Lake Lurleen tomorrow morning. We're going to get up first thing in the morning, get the trailer hitched up, and head on up the road to Lake Lurleen State Park. It's just outside of Tuscaloosa. And so we will be heading out of here early, because it's a long drive. We are on the road again, and we will see you next time at Lake Lurleen State Park in Alabama.